the blockbuster NBA trade last night. Now, let me say this. I love this. Pete sends me a text this morning and says, I know you hate the NBA. I don't hate the NBA. I mean, I covered the league for a lot of years, Pete. I just find it stunningly, shockingly, immensely boring. I mean, that's just it. I guess, I was a basketball fan and I played basketball as a kid. But when I found hockey, I went right over to hockey and I gave up basketball completely. So I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Having said that, I'm going to let you go ahead and expand here at the first point, because if you look at this, it would seem that the Boston Celtics, in making this trade, are saying that go for broke. I mean, with what they're doing to get some draft picks in there right now to bring Porzingis in from the Wizards. But this would seem to be we're going to win the NBA title in 2024, or else we're not going to win anything at all. That's how it looks to me.
I don't think so at all. I completely disagree, because they could have stayed.
That's why Pete's the NBA guy, man. That's why I bring him in here.
Listen,
he puts me right in my place.
You can make that case for what the Phoenix Suns are doing, because that contract, with their contracts, they are in win it for the next 3 years or we're screwed. Celtics don't have that. I mean, Celtics were going to tweak the roster. Brogdon almost got dealt last night, and then that deal fell through. He was going to go to the Clippers in a 3-way deal. That's the deal everybody thought, which started with Woj at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and it fell through. I thought that was going to happen. So this happened right before midnight last night. Most of us, I wasn't, but most people were asleep. So, I mean, the Celtics, they get Porzingis, they get a 2023 first-round pick, which is going to be number 25. They get a 24 first-round pick via Golden State. That's what the Celtics get. Memphis gets Marcus Smart, and then Gallinari and Muscala. They were, Gallinari didn't play last year for the Celtics. He was hurt. And Muscala wasn't bad coming off the bench. He could get you to 3. He's a decent player. And Washington gets him, and they also get Tyus Jones. But look,
isn't the bigger part of this? So go ahead.
You can't sign everybody for the Celtics. You can't. They still have to.
Right.
Grant Williams. They still want to sign Grant Williams, which I believe they will. And Robert Williams III is still going to be on the team. So it was either Brogdon was going to go or Marcus Smart was going to go. Now, Marcus Smart, there's a love-hate relationship, I think. I love the guy. I think he's a hockey player. He's a hockey player that plays basketball. They're going to miss the heart and soul. They're certainly going to miss his defense. But you can't have everything. It's impossible. Porzingis with Tatum and Brown, oh, my goodness, that is going to be pretty formidable if all three of them are out there at the same time. So they're going to be just fine. They'll be one of the contenders again to win the whole thing next year. We'll see what happens with Lillard today. If he goes to the Miami Heat, that'll be something. And Milwaukee will be there as well, even though Middleton exercised his option. He doesn't want $46 million. He wants more. He'll probably get it. He might even get it from Milwaukee. So overall, and then Ja Morant is going to have Marcus Smart, which I think is a good thing as a mentor.
Okay, hang on. Stop right there a sec, because that's one of the 2 points I wanted to bring out in all this. Is it not fair to say that Ja Morant has pretty much forced the hand of the Memphis Grizzlies here because of his impending suspension? They needed to get a point guard in here. So were it not for, and again, I'm simply just extrapolating here, but were it not for the fact that Morant is in trouble, may miss the entire season, or at least 25 games, maybe more, that the Grizz had to pull the trigger on this deal and had to make it work because they needed somebody to fill the gap while he's gone.
You said pull the trigger. I see what you're doing. We're talking about Ja Morant. You get it? But no, I think they would have made this deal anyway, even if things were perfect with Ja Morant. I mean, now they're going to have 2 great defensive players on the floor. Look, Ja's going to be suspended. He got the 25 games. That's it, unless he does something really, another stupid thing.
Don't put it past him.
I don't know, but right now it's 25 games. But I think it's a good move for Memphis, and it was either going to be like a Ja Morant or maybe a Draymond Green, believe it or not. They need somebody. The Memphis Grizzlies need somebody to mentor Ja Morant. I think either one of those guys, despite what you might think of Draymond Green, and I know Punch and Poole last year and all that stuff, but Marcus Smart is going to be, I think, a very good influence for Ja Morant. A guy, Marcus has been professional. He's been in championship games.
Well, but that's it. That's my point. Think about it this way.
He's a natural leader.
Right, you're right, but that's my point. Had Morant not gotten involved or not gotten in trouble the second time around, this deal may not have happened because they need somebody there to keep this guy's head on straight, which isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world because he's a knucklehead to begin with. and then have somebody who's there to at least fill some shoes while he's gone. So it's funny how things in my mind always just kind of move on. Had he not gotten in trouble, this deal might not have happened, or at least certainly might not have happened in this sense with this
I
sort of
think,
with these sort of players.
I think it's a good
Maybe,
pickup. Either way, it's a good
maybe.
pickup. I think it just coincidentally because Ja's suspended, and you get a natural born leader, a great defensive player, and a guy who can hit some big shots at times. I know people say, he takes too many threes. There's a lot. I mean, he's not a perfect player. Nobody is, but I think for the Memphis Grizzlies, it's a perfect situation. I think for the Celtics, they're going to be in great shape, and now they can get the 295 max contract to Brown, that's definitely going to happen. Those two aren't going anywhere, so they got essentially entire. I think everybody just about is going to be coming back. You add, except for Marcus Smart, obviously, you add Porzingis. I think Grant Williams and Robert Williams III are both going to be on the team this year, and you're looking pretty solid. You've got Derek White once again, and they're going to have a really good basketball team.
But you don't think then that this is the Celtics basically saying that it's I don't want to use the go for broke scenario, but it would seem that with this, because Horford's not getting any younger, so you got to put somebody in there to kind of be a Horford in training. So you've got to have that to be ready. Is that fair?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like again, none of these. This team is going to be these guys are going to be locked in for quite some time. I mean, there's a lot. There's not. I mean, this is going to be a good basketball team. I think for the next at least 6-7 years. There's no. Again, you look at the Phoenix Suns and the contracts that are over there. They're the ones that are in all or nothing. I mean, because they better win it in the next 3 years. Otherwise, that franchise is going to be in no man's land after that. So. But I think the Celtics are going to be in really good shape. I have a gut feeling Damian Lillard's going to end up in Miami, and that even maybe by tonight during the draft. And Milwaukee, it's still going to be the same three teams. I still don't know what Philadelphia is going to be. I don't count them, but I think the Celtics, Miami, Milwaukee once again they'll be the three favorites. The Celtics are already number 2 in Vegas behind Denver anyway. So and now I think this deal worked out for everybody.